have all of you here for an exciting celebration. I can't say it's a groundbreaking, but it's, the ground's already been broken. It's really a thrill to be able to be seeing an example of what we think the Science Center is going to become. And it's my pleasure as Dean of Academic Affairs, Dick French, to welcome all of you here. And first to introduce Orit Shaer, who's the director of the HCI Lab and a member of our Computer Science Department and the Media Arts and Sciences. She'll be telling you a little bit about HCI, Human-Computer Interface, which when I first was introduced to computers was punch cards and paper tape. So I'm really glad to see that things have come a long way, baby. And I'm looking forward to learning myself. So thanks again for all of you. We're going to have a fun morning to get a chance to see what HCI is all about. And why don't you take it away, Orit?
Thank you so much. And thank you for helping to make this day possible. Thank you. And hi, thank you, welcome. We're all so happy to have you finally here with us. And thank you everyone for coming to celebrate with us the opening of this new exciting space. So our students are graduating into a world which become increasingly interdisciplinary, and the problems that they will face become more and more complex. And what we'll see is that more often than not, interdisciplinary teams that involve scientists and computer scientists and artists will have to work together to solve problems. So that we hope our goal for this lab is to be a space where science, technology, and art come together in new and creative ways. So with this goal in mind of bringing science and technology, we really hope to inspire students. And we hope to inspire students to go and reach out to their colleagues in other disciplines, to cross faculties and disciplinary boundaries. We hope to inspire them to use the human-centered problem-solving techniques that we teach them here in the lab to solve problems out there in the world and to make a difference. I see a lot of students are joining us. Welcome. So with these goals in mind, we jointly designed this space. And we had several ideas in mind when we designed the space. We wanted to make it visible, we wanted to make it collaborative, and we wanted to make it fun to work. So we're celebrating this new state-of-the-art space. It's a space that we designed to foster creativity through these lively colors that you can see and all the writable surfaces. It's a place that hosts new cutting-edge user interface technology. So we have these 3D holographic displays, which you'll get a chance to play with. We have multi-touch surfaces of different sizes, and we have lots of kind of gesture-based technology here for the students to try. What's really special about this place are the students that are working here together, long hours, so they do have even their coffee corner, to invent new ways for people to leverage technology. So there's a long list of people that I would like to acknowledge that helped to make this space possible and this day so exciting. First, Dick French and Kim Bottomley and the rest of the college leadership that recognized the need for this space. My colleagues in the computer science departments and our fearless department chair, Hildreth, for being here and kind of supporting me every step of the way. They really inspire me through their commitment to outstanding teaching and research. Thank you for all your mentorship. Kati Suma, who with her leadership and vision for the Science Center has supported kind of the creation of this space with more ways that I can list here and we have time to describe. I really hope this is a first in a very exciting Science Center to become. Michelle Mehu, who managed this project with remarkable attention to detail and efficiency. Many thanks to the Science Center, Media Art and Science collaborators, the people that I collaborate with on a day-to-day basis. Thank you for helping me to reach out to new disciplines and to expand the boundaries of human-computer interaction research. And of course, Wellesley College trustee Amy Batchelor and her husband, Brad Feld, who with their leadership and generosity made this all possible. Thank you very much. To my research fellow, Diana Eastman and Consuelo Valdez, both recent Wellesley graduates that helped run this lab and contribute immensely to all research activities in the lab. They are my peers and collaborators and they're just fantastic. And finally, to the computer science, media art and science, biology students that spend endless hours and sometimes nights in this lab, it is with your enthusiasm and talent that you really inspire me and all of us. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ellen Hildreth. Ellen is a professor and department chair in computer science. She holds MS and PhD from MIT in mathematics, electrical engineering, and computer science. She taught at MIT in the Brain and Cognitive Sciences department before coming to Wellesley in 1991. Ellen is a fellow of the American Association for Artificial Intelligence, and her research explores human vision through the creation of computational models of visual processing and through observations of perceptual experiments. Ellen has been a wonderful mentor for me. Thank you very much, Ellen, for everything.
For coming here today, and on behalf of the Computer Science Department, I would especially like to thank Amy Batchelor for joining us in the celebration today to open up this wonderful new HCI lab that was made possible by Amy and her husband Brad. About 5 years ago, a wish came true for us when Orit came to this department and brought this exciting new field of human-computer interaction to the college. And Orit came with a vision, and it was a vision of students working together to create new technologies and to help change the way we think about collaborative learning and research in the sciences, and also to enable different new ways of creative expression in the arts. And she also came with a vision to integrate her research and teaching in a seamless way by engaging students in her classes in discovery-based project work, but also fostering team-based research in which all of the students are constantly together learning and teaching to each other. And Orit arrived at Wellesley and then came the students. In her very first HCI class, there were 22 students enrolled who were all eager to learn about this new field. And prior to that, summers had been kind of a quiet time around the computer science department. But that very first summer that Orit was here, her large group of summer research students, which came from both computer science and biology, they really livened up the place and embarked on one of their first projects, which was building a novel user interface for genomic exploration. And we had transformed our department conference room into a research space for her, and it was soon buzzing with activity. As Orit suggested, it was all hours of the day, 24/7. And students really flocked to the HCI lab, and then came the beast, which you can see in front of us here. And it soon reminded me of Jafar in the movie Aladdin. Here was Orit with this unlimited cosmic power in a teeny, weeny living space. But despite the cramped quarters, the HCI group thrived in this community. And from the beginning, Orit encouraged her students to present their work to the outside professional community through conference presentations, design competitions, and the group was very prolific. They created a strong Wellesley presence at the premier HCI conferences and won many awards, most notably the iGEM World Championships Awards, and also the Student Innovation Contest at the Symposium for User Interface Science and Software and Technology. And for our students, these experiences and these accomplishments created a great sense of pride and really helped them to be confident in their ability to go out and pursue graduate work in this area, take on challenging job opportunities, and these Orit's students have done with great success. The work of the HCI group also had a great presence at Wellesley. They were showcased every year in the Tanner and Ruhlman conferences, and also at our very own Cirque du CS. And this year, if you can imagine, this whole corridor was just teeming with activity. We had about 90 students presenting projects in computer science and MAS, and the HCI women were right in the middle of all of it. And we had maybe about 200 people visiting, many of them from the Wellesley town community. And so we can't wait for our next Cirque du CS celebration when we have our new HCI lab on display as part of that. And all this visibility helped to draw more students into computer science. And many students, when they first set foot in the Wellesley campus, they had no idea they might be majoring in computer science eventually. But through projects like the work of the HCI lab, they really became fascinated with what you could do with computer science ideas and technology and wanted to be part of that. So I think that's a lot of what stimulated growth in our department. And all this time, the department had wished long and hard for a larger and better designed and equipped space for Orit's flourishing research group. And our second wish came true when Amy and Brad gave their very generous donation to the college to help create this new state-of-the-art integrated research and teaching space for HCI. Through her teaching, research, and mentorship, Orit has been an inspiration to her students and also to all the CS faculty. And we don't need a genie in a lamp to make our third wish come true, which is for many new discoveries and innovations to take place in the future in this wonderful new space. So from the CS department, my sincere thanks to all of the people here who made this project a great success. Thank you.
So I would like to introduce two students that spent this summer and many, many hours and nights during the summer and after the summer to say a few words about human-computer interaction now. So Veronica. Will be just Veronica.
Okay, so I'm Veronica. I'm a junior majoring in computer science and economics, and I joined the HCI lab after my first year. So I actually had Orit my first semester here for CS 111, continued with her for the HCI course in the spring, and then joined the lab. And it's really meant a lot. I think it's a really unique opportunity to be able to do research at a small liberal arts college where computer science isn't like the primary focus of our college. I actually went to a research conference this past weekend in Pittsburgh, and it was all women in CS, and I was one of the very few from a liberal arts college. And so this has been a fantastic opportunity to kind of pursue large-scale projects outside of classwork. I've learned a lot about collaborating with a big team, just like working with new technologies, and kind of just the research process. And so that's been a really great thing. And so on behalf of the students, we'd just like to thank Amy and Brad for your generosity, and also the Science Center for supporting our research opportunities here.
Okay, thanks very much for those words, and it's now my pleasure to, on behalf of the college, to introduce and thank Amy Batchelor and her husband Brad for this really wonderful, forward-thinking, generous gift. I have a long biography of Amy, which I won't embarrass her by repeating, except to say that she was a Wellesley student in the class of '88 in the English department, showing the value of a liberal arts education by seeing the value of the connection between writing, thinking, and science, technology, and she's been a member of the Board of Trustees, and I think that just at a time when we're starting to reimagine science education in the Science Center at Wellesley, we have what mathematicians call an existence proof, an example of what the future can be in the Science Center. It's ironic that this building was designed as a radical architectural experiment where you expose everything, the pipes, the girders, the sockets, except you conceal the science that's being done. You can go upstairs and get to see every stuffed bird in Massachusetts. But little do you know that behind those walls, there's lots of activity of students in many, many departments. This is the first example that we have in the Science Center where we really have science on display. And isn't it exciting to see what's happening? And I just was talking to Randy Schull, one of the members of the computer science department, who said that by being able to walk by and see all of the energy in here, even the contiguous spaces are now getting energized. So it's a real thrill to see the future today, inspired by your generosity, Amy, and we're really grateful to you for setting the standard, setting the example, and giving us a sense of what the future is going to be in science here at Wellesley. So on behalf of the entire college, thanks so much.
being here. This is my first opportunity to see the space in full fruition, which is really an honor and a privilege. My husband went to MIT as an undergrad and graduate school as well, and I think he was a big part of this decision. He actually thinks the machines have taken over and that we are just serving them and feeding them data and collaborating with them in their complete dominance of our lives. And he's a venture capitalist who invests in companies like Oblong, which is a gestural interface control system, and MakerBot, which is a 3D printing company, is very interested in emerging technologies and entrepreneurship. And truthfully, that's where this comes from. The notion that you play, and out of your play and your creativity come business opportunities, I think is an important part of the liberal arts experience. I am one generation maybe lower than Dick. I learned BASIC in 8th grade. We had 90-minute metal tapes as our storage devices and the modem with the phone. And then I also took Pascal in high school. And I think that a grounding in the logic and the creativity of computer science is incredibly important in terms of your worldview and the notion of competence in creating entire universes, really, as a tool in any discipline. And I am 100% behind the notion of interdisciplinary learning, and I think the emerging of disciplines that we don't even really have language for yet. We all see that coming on the horizon, and I think Wellesley is a place that's preparing itself for that. I think, in particular, the physical space and the ways in which our physical spaces nurture creativity and connection and collaboration. You really see this proof of concept here. You see it in the astronomy building renovation also, where there's sensitivity to the historical nature of our campus, but also preparing those spaces for the 21st century. So I'm really proud of this. My husband's sorry he's not able to be here, and he would be delighted and thrilled. He's the chair of the board of an organization called the National Center for Women in Information Technology, of which Wellesley is actually a member of the consortium, which is attempting to achieve gender equity in computing and information technology. So we're both very committed to women's increasing role in computing and information technology and the intersection of that discipline in other areas. So I see this as a proof of concept and an incredibly inspiring notion of what the Science Center could be in its entirety as we talk about renewing and refreshing our campus for the next century. So thank you for all of your hard work, your creativity. I'm so proud and honored to be able to be part of this, and I look forward to the next blossoming that comes from the Science Center. So thank you for being here today.
Hi everybody, thank you all for coming. One of the unfortunate things about this project was that Amy was unable to join us when it was in construction. And one of the great fun things that happens during construction projects is that people get to go through on a hard hat tour. And since Amy wasn't able to do that, we brought a hard hat here for her today. And we also have one for Brad. That's great. And we'd like to ask you to do the official ribbon cutting for us today. We'll save the ribbon and we'll tie a piece of the ribbon around the orange column inside so that when Brad has a chance to join us, he'll get an opportunity to do some cutting as well.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, Cassie. It's been great.
Get out of the way.
How exciting. Tools. Our ability to use tools. Yeah.
So I want to thank you all for coming and invite you back to the lab on December 9th, which is the last Monday of classes, and also happens to be Grace Hopper's birthday. For those of you in computer science, you'll know that Grace Hopper is the person for whom the Hopper Conference is named, that many of our students get to go to, and celebrates her accomplishments as an early pioneer in computer science. So please come back to the lab on the 9th at 12:30 when Orit will open up the lab and students will be giving demonstrations of everything and the projects that they've been working on. For now, this concludes our program today, and Amy is going to have a private tour with the students of everything going on in the lab. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Amy.
We have donuts and cider thank you.